The BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi launched the party's much-talked-about Chai Pe Charcha campaign this evening, interacting with people over, very simply, a cup of chai. Mr. Modi is clearly making the most of his humble background, and the chai campaign will hit about 300 towns and cities, according to the BJP, which hopes that this mass contact program in the run-up to the general elections will benefit them in a big way. They have clearly latched on to the chaiwala barb that Congress leader Mani Shankar Aiyar made against Mr. Modi just last month, something that Rahul Gandhi then came down on heavily as well. Well, lots happening politically as the election season warms up. We're joined by senior Congress leader and Union Minister Salman Khurshid on the program tonight. Here in the studio with us, national spokesperson of the BJP, Nirmala Sitharaman. Thank you to both of you for joining us tonight. Mr. Khurshid, to you first. Here you have Mr. Modi launching this chai campaign today, really sort of hammering home his humble origins. Would you agree that it was a self-goal by the Congress and Mr. Aiyar in particular to have made that chaiwala comment in the first place? That's what launched this campaign.
See, I'm not commenting on the aesthetics of statements made during a hot political campaign. I think everyone is saying and gets away with saying a lot of things. Can we just reflect back on what Mr. Modi has been saying, the kind of things that he's been saying? They can be very rude, they can be very irksome as well. But you know, you need to allow for some flexing of muscle and vocabulary during a heated campaign. Somebody uses a term, you should also have a little sense of humor, frankly. But nothing stops anyone from taking advantage of what they think might give them an advantage. And if that's what Mr. Modi is doing, well, good for him. We will do what we want to do, which is politics should be a serious matter because the country's future depends on it. Now let him judge whether he's being serious or he's not being serious.
But you're telling us to have a sense of humor. About 3 weeks after Mr. Aiyar made this comment, Rahul Gandhi had a meeting in which he said there shouldn't be personalized attacks, and this particular comment was drawn out
Absolutely.
For reference. So obviously it's not funny.
Listen, no, I don't think that you know what Mr. Rahul Gandhi said. It was a comprehensive statement he made to all of us who are spokespersons, giving us some guidance, giving us some very good sage advice. Also telling us how careful we must be in a time when the media picks up one word or one phrase and then runs away with it. So I think this is all part of the process of outreach. So I'm not going to say that, you know, Mr. X said this and we came down heavy on him or something of that nature. We have to assess what will work for you and what will work for the other side. It's like playing a game with where there are a lot of rules that you know and a lot of rules that you discover as you go along.
I'm going to pick up on a point that you made.
I think we should just draw a line.
You feel that you should draw a line, but you also said, Nirmala Sitharaman, you also said there should be that you should allow some flexing of muscle during a heated election campaign. And therefore, do you believe that in the run-up to these elections, it's actually going to become a more personalized and bitter campaign on both sides, on all sides?
Well, I don't think. First of all, first correction. Sorry.
Yeah. One moment, Ms. Sitharaman. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Please go on. Yeah. Please go on.
See, first of all, let me place on record. It is not Mani Shankar Aiyar's comments which prompted us to go on this program. We have been working on various different levels and coming up with a lot of out-of-the-box kind of, reaching out to people.
This was always on the anvil.
So this has been there, and we've been working on different versions of how to go about it. So I'm not ready to credit the always vitriolic Mani Shankar Aiyar for this Chai Pe Charcha campaign. He has never lost a moment of opportunity when he wants to use the choicest abuse to another political opponent. Even with a sense of humor, I would think that's not very welcome. But at the same time, getting into a muscular kind of a campaign, talking, flexing of muscles, as Mr. Khurshid would want us to believe, seems to be a line coming out of the Congress, which periodically has engaged in vitriolic campaign. So they get it from him as good as they give. And on that, I think they better sit back and think how they want to lead the campaign, because every time they've tried attacking him with such vitriol, rather than engage with political discourse and engage on issues which matter, engage on issues which he's raising, they're just going to get it back from the citizens of the country, because people have heard the Congress repeatedly, not just in Gujarat, other places also, that they're not answering questions any longer, not just from Mr. Modi, but from anybody.
On this issue of language, while you're completely right about the kind of language we've seen from Congress and what it has said about Mr. Modi can also be pretty harsh.
That is why I said he would not let go an opportunity if he's hit back badly. Because why would anyone, I'm not talking about just Mr. Modi. Is the Congress any less? Look at the kind of pedestrian language, not just the Congress, even from Samajwadi Party. There are ways in which they want to constantly keep that kind of a language live and hot, which is not welcome. But the difference between Mr. Modi and others is that he doesn't let go either. He would give it back to them, provided you understand that if you want to engage with him on political debates, he gets into details too. That's not ever projected.
But on this issue of Mr. Modi's chai campaign, coming back to that, Mr. Khurshid, here you have Mr. Modi who is playing up his humble origins. He's also been talking a lot more about his OBC background in recent rallies, which many would say is a complete contrast to Rahul Gandhi and the privileged background from which he comes from. And Mr. Modi is seizing on that. He's seizing on that right now.
Let me just first, if you permit, let me just say to my colleague from the BJP, she said three contradictory things. One, that this campaign has nothing to do with what Mani Shankar Aiyar said. And then she says what Mani Shankar Aiyar said was wrong. And then she says that we don't answer any questions, and that Modi wants a serious discussion. So if you want the serious discussion, you start calling people Shehzada, right? You start saying things which are very clearly hurtful and abusive, right? Because we are talking about giving respect to each other, and if we're going to respect each other, shall we be calling them names? And shall we be calling names that show somebody to be unacceptably elitist? Now, having said that, Mr. Rahul Gandhi comes from a distinguished family. It is true. It is true. And Mr. Modi has come a long way from where he began. That's also true. But that's not the issue about who should lead this country. The person who should lead this country should have brains and should have experience and should have an ability to get everyone together. Now, if Mr. Modi has it, good for him. If Mr. Modi doesn't have it, well, just too bad for him. But what is interesting is that they don't want to listen to anybody. They know that the people of India have made up their mind. They know that the people of India will do exactly as they please. But let us not forget that Himachal and Karnataka was lost to the BJP after Mr. Modi launched his campaign. So there are losses and there are wins in an election campaign. At the end of the day, people elect a government to run for 5 years or whatever.
So you're saying it doesn't put Rahul Gandhi at a disadvantage to be from a distinguished family, and that yes, Mr. Modi's come a long way. I'll take that to Nirmala Sitharaman, because is that a deliberate strategy Mr. Modi is following now to highlight that background and play up that OBC card?
Hey, with due respects, Nidhi, Mr. Khurshid is going around in circles. All right? Because what I've tried placing in my initial comment is Mr. Modi is raising questions of development which since the 2002 election debate in Gujarat, Congress has refused to engage with him. Either you taunt him or make fun of him or you put him down and so on. And he goes around asking the relevant questions for which the Congress refuses to answer. Now, I did say that Mani Shankar Aiyar's comment did not initiate this whole thing. We have had ideas of handling this, and there is no doubt about it. I'm not contradicting myself when I say it, because ultimately, if we want to engage in political debate, and as Mr. Khurshid is pointing out, why did he use the word Shehzada? Who is asking this question? Since 2002, you've been calling names, and continuously you're going on throwing names at him. So certainly he would also, that is why I said he will give it back as good as he gets, and therefore the Congress better understand that if they want to have an engagement with the BJP, its prime ministerial candidate, they get on with serious issues. And then to condescendingly say, you need, if you want to be a prime minister, you need brains. Doesn't that betray his arrogance? I'm sorry, that the arrogance of the Congress party to say if he has it, it's good. If he doesn't have it, bad luck. What kind of an engagement is this? What kind of judgmental lines are these? And therefore, I think the Congress will have to introspect that they can't in every way come up with a very, subtle kind of insinuation and then say, oh, there we go, Mr. Modi is always sitting back.
But on this issue of the
this
campaign,
condescension is what?
You think it's condescending and you think it's patronizing. Mr. Khurshid, I'll let you respond to that and also come to the point about Rahul Gandhi's campaign.
Well, I will.
Yeah.
I'll respond. Let me just respond.
Yeah.
Everything that my friend is saying, actually is not just going around in circles, is actually doing cartwheels. What is the problem? If I'm subtle, it's not fair. If I use a specific term, I'm not fair. I'm just telling you, our view is that we are ready to engage in the Gujarat model. Every area of development, Gujarat is the rock bottom, and I'm prepared to bet my political career on this. Can give you figures that are authentic figures. Gujarat is absolutely rock bottom. You are surviving on one huge lie, and I think we got to puncture that lie. Please bring Mr. Modi, we will debate with him.
Much before you debate, I wish you had the largeness of heart, Mr. Khurshid, to accept that it was the Prime Minister's office which has given several awards to Gujarat. Are you then saying you will as a party debate, but your government has been right, left and centre, pun intended here, giving away a lot of awards to the Gujarat government?
See,
what kind of misleading comments are these?
I'm sorry.
I think, Mr. Khurshid,
at least you're conceding. At least you're conceding that we are fair. At least you're conceding that we are fair.
Thank you.
We're not prejudiced like you.
Don't patronize, Mr. Khurshid. Being fair is your duty.
I'm sorry.
You're not doing us a favor by being fair.
Do you have a complex? Do you have an inferiority complex that used the word patronize 6 times? I'm sorry.
That is exactly the kind of language you're using.
How to have a conversation?
What complex I have is you're free to judge. You sit on judgment on Mr. Modi and also on an armed karyakarta like me. Get going with saying the facts, Mr. Khurshid. I don't want your judgments here. I know what I'm doing. Don't be judgmental, don't patronize, don't be subtle, don't be harsh, don't be clean, don't be specific. I'm sorry, please learn to talk to people. Go back somewhere, learn to talk to people. We'll have a discussion with you. Thank you, Mr. Khurshid.
I just have a last question for both of you, which is on Rahul Gandhi's campaign.
I'm wasting my time. I'm really wasting my time talking to you.
Mr. Khurshid, on Rahul Gandhi's campaign, now we're suddenly seeing Rahul Gandhi out on the campaign trail much more. He's far more visible today than he was even 6 months ago, whereas the BJP's campaign has been very organized. Many would say far more slick. A lot of critics say that Mr. Gandhi should have been doing what he's doing today a year ago, that it's come too late.
Everyone has their own timing. Everyone has their own plan. Everyone has their own strategy. Why should we follow a BJP strategy? There are people in the BJP who were impatient. They wanted to come out quickly. Good for them. We are not complaining. We will do things our way, our timing, and in our manner.
Are you also secretly hoping that the Aam Aadmi Party makes a dent in the BJP's votes in this election? Would you at least concede that?
I'm sorry. The issue of dent. We are fighting the campaign on merits. We're not going to use anybody's walking stick, and as far as, or whatever it is, broom or walking stick. But as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned, let me just say this to you. I don't know what they're going to dent or they will not dent, but they're certainly denting the constitutional governance of our country, when I think is really pathetic and sad.
All right, that's a separate debate. We'll have another time. But thank you to you and to Nirmala Sitharaman for at least coming and talking about some of the key issues that this campaign is facing. I have to leave it at that tonight. I hope both come back as the campaign hots up to talk about the real substantive issues, as everyone kept saying this entire evening. See you all again tomorrow. Goodbye.